high tides raise all boats. Uh, I love the idea that our built environment, just where we're living or working on its own, can just raise the tide on all of it.
Mm.
You know, like our set point that we're beginning from changes.
Yes.
Uh, that is the thing that it is really hitting me in this conversation. That's the thing that to me is providing the most hope. Like we can use our built environment to just raise the frequency. Well, the company is called Frequency, but to raise the frequency of the whole built environment so that the starting point, the moment we get out of bed, as we go through our day, as we interact with people, as we go to work, like the starting point, the set point that we're even beginning from is just higher.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
and
think to expand on that, I completely agree with you. And what's also exciting to us is there are lots of studies out there about how emotions are contagious, right?
mhm.
Our energy can
Yeah, it's called
spread.
emotional contagion.
Exactly. Our energy can
Yeah.
spread. And so if we can augment the environment to help us feel good, then when we leave that environment, we're taking that good energy with us,
Yeah.
whether it's home to our families or to work with our colleagues, right? And if we're all showing up in a better, more full, more ourselves, more alive way, the impact, the ripples that that could have are, for me, really exciting to think about.
Yeah.
So I wholeheartedly agree with you. We're raising the
Well,
set point. We're raising the frequency.
I know that like the bigger mission of the whole thing, like there's a business and businesses have to be revenue generating and do all that good stuff that makes a business. But we can also have businesses that are purpose and mission driven at the
Mm,
same time,
mm.
right? In fact, there's a lot of research that now that says that businesses that are mission driven are more successful. I want to spend a little time talking about the higher purpose of frequency, not just to train and educate the public, not just to be a professional services firm to other developers around the world, but the big picture. What's the big picture mission for frequency?
You mentioned early on self actualization, or the idea that the way that I experience that phrase is we are all here for a reason and we are
Mm-hmm.
discovering it. That's been my personal experience in the world. That's what I believe. And so part of the bigger vision of frequency is to help people figure out why they're here and to use the environment to have a positive impact on them so that they can go out and do.
I know for myself, when I'm stressed out, when I'm in a bad mood, when I'm tired or exhausted, I'm not my best,
Mm,
right? I'm not able to contribute my best. But at a deeper level, I'm not actually my best self.
mm,
Right. And there are other times when, the stars align, I get a great night's sleep, I eat well, I've had good interactions at work and with other people. And when I'm feeling better, it's much easier to connect with what I care about,
mm.
why I care about it, what I want to do in the world or see done in the world. And again, that set point, like when let's kind of use this, go back to the beginning of this conversation. When I'm at home in myself, it's much easier to connect with a deeper sense of purpose, who I am, why I'm here, what I want to do in the world, what the bigger purpose for my life is, or to have the energy to go looking for it.
Mm. You've got it.
Right.
You,
Okay.
I think you nailed it. I think you said it better than I could. I think the idea that how we feel impacts how we show up,
Yeah.
and how we show up impacts the results that we get. That to me is the story. And ultimately, I think we all agree we need all the help as humanity. We need all the help we can get. We need
Yeah.
everybody operating at that higher level frequency to solve all the problems that are before us.
Yeah.
And that's the big idea.
Yeah. So if I were to kind of paraphrase that as a larger mission, it's doing that for people, but as an industry, it's also changing kind of the higher purpose of real estate, right? It's not just to put roofs over people's head. It's actually to lift us up and to lift our potential up.
Yeah, you and I were talking about this the other day, and I was, joking, and I said, real estate developers really need a rebrand.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
we are the landlords that have been in the news. I think another goal beyond helping people generally be more aware of their environment and think about how they can change it and think about the change that they make, how that makes them feel better. I think that's mission one, and then mission two, how can we help real estate developers like me actually improve the buildings that they're building to have a better impact, a more positive impact on the people that are living and working and playing in those spaces? Because I believe that real estate developers in the aggregate want to do that. Every conversation I have with other developers like me is, wow, that's really cool what you're doing. I have no idea how to do that. I'm trying to figure out how to build the building. I've got a permit expediter that I've got to work with. I've got an architect. I've got all these engineers. I've got to make sure the financing is in place. So I've got all these challenges. I don't have the bandwidth to go out and research and figure out what type of technology that creates this positive impact on the people that are living here I should use, and how I should integrate it into the building. And so part of our other goal is, let's make it easy for developers to be able to use the technology and design modalities and all of the what's already out there. I'll never forget, you and I were having a conversation, and I was really struggling, as I think probably many entrepreneurs do, with how the heck am I going to do this? I don't know, And what came to me was that this, quote unquote, already exists. There's already all these great scientists out there building this cool technology that helps create positive impact on people. There's already all these, we haven't even talked about wisdom traditions of ancient civilizations that knew this, but there's this, quote unquote, already exists. It's just about bringing it into the now in a way that can be used by real estate developers. And I think when we as real estate developers stand up and say, you're right, we're not just trying to build a building to make money for our investors, we're also trying to build a building that will make people feel good, that people will make people happier, healthier, more successful. That's our aim too. Real estate developers like that exist now. I'm talking with them every day. They just don't know how to do it. And so that's part of our mission, is to help make that easy.
I want to just bring up one more thing about developers in terms of the why for this. There is this relationship between purpose and profit, right? The commerce piece of it. Bottom line for developers, when people feel good in a space, if we walk into a space and go, oh, this place feels amazing, right? If we walk into an apartment building where we might rent an apartment, like this apartment, like I looked at 5 other places, but I don't know, there's something about this place. It feels great, right? And then if there's branding for that developer that educates people about everything we've been talking about, like, hey, this is purpose built to have you be your best, to feel great, to deliver your best. That differentiates that developer and their buildings in a market, right? In a way that just another rooftop deck, as nice as they are, doesn't. And I imagine that it also has a really positive impact on retention, that when people feel great in a space, they're probably going to stay longer, right? So I think there is this purpose, like, yeah, we can do better in this industry. And here's the technology to do it. And by the way, we've done all the research for you so you can easily implement. But also from a nuts and bolts business perspective, there is a value proposition, I think, that makes a lot of sense to developers.